to look at the 30-day demand curve. So what we're going to do right now is compare traditional knowledge management to KCS. So let's just look at a typical scenario. First of all, we have our dedicated knowledge manager. And that knowledge manager is working through a queue of articles that have been submitted that they're going to need to review, validate, make pristine before they actually publish it. So let's go through a scenario. If we release something, this is your 30-day demand curve. When we release it, when do you get the most contacts, the most calls?
In the beginning.
In the beginning, right. So do you think first day we'll get a lot of calls maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just put our calls on here. Does it slow down?
Well, yeah, sometime it will.
Sure, at some point it's going to slow down, right? So the biggest part of our demand is right here. Well, let's go through this scenario. Let's say that Leanna gets a call. She is looking in the knowledge base. She doesn't find the solution for what she's working on. So she creates an article and she submits this to the knowledge manager and it goes into the knowledge manager queue. As you can see, it's in line. It's quite a bit before it. So now Camilla gets a call. She searches the knowledge base. It's not there. So she creates a solution, adds it to the knowledge manager queue, and we go on. So now let's just look at what the knowledge manager would do. This is knowledge engineering. The knowledge manager is going to go through the queue. Obviously, the knowledge manager is going to have some redundancies, so some duplicates, figure out which one's best, validate it, review it, make it look perfect, put it into our template, and then make it available to everyone. What do you notice about the demand?
It's going down.
It's going down, right? So we didn't get it out there in the height of demand or when we needed to have it the most. So let's look now at the KCS. So in KCS, you don't have a dedicated resource. You don't have this dedicated knowledge manager. So let's start over and look at it a little differently. Leanna gets the call. She searches the knowledge base. It's not there. She creates a draft. Draft means it's not necessarily right. It's just like me yelling across the room saying, Camilla, how do you do this? And she says, hey, try this. So I try it, right? Well, now Camilla gets the call. She searches the knowledge base. She finds Leanna's draft. She knows that it might not work because it's a draft. It's not trusted knowledge yet. So she tries it and she says, on step 3, I think we could have done this a little differently. So she tries a different way. It works. She updates or she fixes the knowledge. And now she's made that draft even better. It's been reviewed once. Ricard gets the call, searches, finds the draft, works right through it, works perfectly. It's now been reviewed twice, it's been validated twice, and it was available immediately in the height of demand when it was most needed. Well, now let's say we want to try to see how important this is or how much demand there is for it. How often are we going to use it? Let's say we think that if something is touched 3 times or used 3 times in a certain time frame, then there's demand for it. So we validated it, we reviewed it, we're saying there's demand for it, more people are going to use it. So we changed the state. We now change this to approved. So we're saying that this is trusted knowledge. It's been validated, it's been reviewed, it's been used, it works. Now it doesn't mean that it will never be changed again, it will never be fixed or updated, but it's saying it's trusted and now more people within our support area can see it. Well, now let's say we use this approved a lot of times. We're using it over and over again. Well, then that means there's demand at the user level. So we're going to change the state yet again. And this time, this means we're taking it to a broader audience. We are making it available for our customers or our users, and it is published. So this is self-help. It's out there for self-help. So it's demand that drives who can see this and what we do with it. Well, let's take another scenario. Let's say that I get a call. I search the knowledge base. I don't find it. I create this draft, and no one else gets that call. Do we need to go out and review that and take time to make it right?
No.
No, because there's no demand for it, right? So it's demand that drives what we do. And we're getting it out there when it is most needed, and the responsibility is shared. What we're doing also is, I'm doing it today. I'm yelling across the room, I'm asking somebody. I know somebody knows this, a whole lot about this particular thing. So I yell across and I ask for their information, for their experience. So we are collecting experiences. It's like when you're in training and they ask you how many years you've done this, and we say, in this room, we have 123 years of experience. Well, we're capturing that experience and we're putting it into our knowledge solutions. Now, something that's happening through the whole process is something we call UFA. First of all, it's really important to know that this is not separate from incident management. This is how we do incident management. So that means that on every single contact, everybody has to do UFA. So that means you either use it, flag it, fix it, or add it. So use it, flag it, fix it, or add it. What you do is dependent on your level of experience and what level you are within the KCS roles. So if you're KCS 1, I've only worked with Logica for 3 weeks, you don't really want me to go in and edit or change or fix these drafts. But I can flag it, I can put a note on it, and I can say, step 3 didn't work so well. So this way we're perfecting, or we're making the knowledge better every time somebody touches it. It's not as expensive because we're not taking this time that we don't need to use, and it's not taking as long to get it out there when there's demand for it. It's also a way to know when to put it out there for a broader audience. Are there any questions?
Published, you mean that could be a subject for our self-help?
Yes, published is self-help. This means my users can touch it, and my users can use it, and they can flag it. So they can use it, and then they can put a note on what worked, what didn't work, if they have a question about it, and then we go back and review that, and we can actually make it better.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.